at the California Applicants Attorneys Convention. This is a place where most of the applicants attorney and defense attorneys, for that matter, I'm going to say, they come to learn about the new laws and educate themselves on what's coming up and so on and so forth. So right now with Sandra Sanders, she's been around forever.
Started in 1984.
That's a
Yeah.
long time. That's a long time.
That's been helping the injured worker for a very long time.
So, Sandra, can you tell us about who you are? Can you tell us about who you are already and what you do?
Absolutely. Well, my name is Sandra Sanders and does SRS Medical Resources. And truly, my heart is helping the attorney help their client, which is the injured worker. And I am so blessed to have so many uh, professional doctors and services with integrity. And I feel like we are helping the workers' comp community. And so what we have done is we have created a marketing company for the doctor, and obviously we call them the applicant attorney for the treaters, PTP, and we created a scheduling service. So it makes it easy for the law firm. You just send in an electronic form, say here is the demo sheet, and looking for a doctor on or off the MPN because we have both. They do accepted and denied. And then we make a match. They do their 4600 letter. We get the appointment, and there you voila. And I don't think the staff realizes, or the attorneys really, how much work their staff has to do in order to gain an appointment for their client. And on the back end, if they need a report or some other thing happens, we can.
So I just want to point out. I mean, she said, they do a lot of stuff with the QMEs. And they do a lot of stuff with the MPNs. They do a lot of stuff with the AMEs or what. So if you did not understand those terms, that's why you need an attorney, and that's why you need to use somebody like her, because they understand and they know all those terms. And can you explain? Okay. Well, first of all, can you explain what a QME, what an AME, what a PCP, what is a primary care physician?
Yeah, we've got a lot of acronyms in workers' comp, definitely. Well,
There you go.
say a treater, a PTP, primary treating physician. So that's your first doctor that you're going to see once you have gotten hurt. Sounds like a dog. And then a qualified medical examiner is someone who is picked from a panel. There's three, and they determine whether or not your case is accepted, whether it's an accepted case. Basically, they're trying to see whether you really are injured. I know that's not the right terminology, but anyway. And an AME, an accepted medical. Agreed medical examiner. The two parties, the applicants and the defense, agree on. Not many of those left anymore. They usually do qualified medical evaluations, but there's still some. And what other acronym are we looking for?
No, I think that's enough. But I mean, the thing that I want to say and what I want to bring out is the fact that if you did not understand those acronyms and you didn't understand what those initials mean, that is the reason why you need people like her. That is the reason why you need an attorney, because it may seem like a superficial thing, but if you don't understand those things, that's exactly why you need these services.
Yeah, so you don't want to mess around if you have an injury. You really do need a good attorney, and you definitely need to get to a physician so that you can get medical treatment, because that's what workers' comp is all about. It really is.
Can you tell me, Sandra, one of the most difficult things that you have dealt with in this industry? I mean, I know you have a lot of experience, and but what's some of the most difficult things that you have dealt with in this industry dealing with an injured worker?
Well, the bottom line is we definitely need doctors and attorneys with integrity. And so I would say making sure that everybody's on the up and up, and they're clean, they're not doing any hinky-pinky. I think that would be, with this industry, that's where you want to put your
Make sure
that you're doing the right thing. because I have done the right thing forever. I've seen many, 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 many things that you would not want to be involved with. So I think that,
It goes without saying.
yeah, I think that would be.
Yeah, because unfortunately, we have seen many people that come and go. We have seen a lot of AMEs, a lot of QMEs that have been canned and they have been found guilty for whatever reason.
Yes, exactly.
You know, that is not the fault of the injured worker,
No,
though.
not at all. No, not at all. That's why you do need to pick, your attorney and physicians. Right.
Because the attorney will know basically what doctor to choose, and if that attorney has already a relationship with that QME, maybe not necessarily an AME, but that QME, obviously, 'cause they have to go into a panel this time, and unless it's an AME, well, I don't know how often, you see that, but.
We do have a really good physician that does mainly AME work, and it generally is more with police and fire and some catastrophic cases. Because they don't have to go through the panel process. But yeah, I mean that's so. So the bottom line is, I can sleep at night because every single one of these physicians that I represent, I know are good, they have integrity, they're not going to mess with anybody, they're just gonna hit you with. And I mean, workers' comp.
Well, and another thing I want to point out, okay, and this is something that maybe, well, I know it goes with your experience, but there's a lot of QMEs, a lot of doctors or PTPs that may be coming to the field that may not necessarily be trained to do adequate reporting, and reporting is important, of the caliber in order for applicants, for attorneys to be able to decide what to do. What can you tell us about that?
I am on a few text messages, and everybody says, "Hey, do you know this doctor?" No, who's that? But then, if they have used a doctor, because the workers' comp community is so tight, especially applicants, they'll tell on the feed, "Oh, no, use him. Oh my gosh, they're not for the injured worker." So you're absolutely right. You do need someone who has some
Knowledge.
training. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, which is another reason why to utilize companies such as mine, because then at least you know the physician that you've chosen.
Now I gotta talk. I gotta talk about there are attorneys and there are attorneys. There are attorneys that can do an excellent work for you, and there are attorneys that can do such and they won't necessarily be at the same level that some other attorneys can. Now, you obviously have been in the industry for a long time. You know the doctors, and the doctors know them as well. I mean, that's a very interesting thing.
And that's one good thing about an organization like the California Applicant Attorneys Association, because you're going to get, I would say, more credibility with an association, because they have to be held accountable, because it's such a tight and small community.
So, this is some of the things that injured workers never really find out. I mean, they don't find out about institutions like yours, but there's a lot of work, there's a lot of effort that goes into being a business like Sandra's business, because there is a lot of curves and a lot of hills that you have to go and you have to fight against, right? So I know that. I know. So I want to commend you for doing all the work that you do. Sandra. It means that you are kind of, you have a stamp on this thing on California Applicant. You're always here and you're always there. You fight, and that's a commendable thing.
I appreciate it. And I'm so happy to be here, and thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Remember, you may not hear, you may not know of Sandra, but she's also working for you. So keep that in mind. All right. Thank you so much.